Welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome back. Y'all, it's solo time. Just me, the girls. If you're a guy watching, welcome to a little coffee break, a little coffee date. Y'all, for real, I love coffee dates. So in my mind before filming this, I'm like, this is a coffee date. Just me and you. Here's the deal. Let's just get right to it. Friend to friend. Peer to peer. This is what God is saying. Fear. Fear. Y'all, it's been on my heart this whole weekend. I actually had something else planned. Fear is holding back so many of us. It's crazy. Y'all, it's crazy. Let me tell you what you can be fearful of. And these are literally, I know people have like crazy things like fear of spiders and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the stuff that like halts you from receiving all that God has for you. Like the big fear, like my life will crumble. It will all be over if I do this. Y'all, fear of making a wrong decision, fear of others' opinions, fear of rejection, fear of not getting it right, fear that's too late, fear that won't work out, fear of having no money, fear of it taking too long, fear of no resources, fear of success, fear of not being successful, fear of the unknown. Like, especially during this year, obviously, and last year, it can just pile up on you, all the fear. But here's the thing. We serve a God that said he would be with us through it all. And I know like so many of us, we're walking through, or maybe this is even your first time where you are experiencing a moment with God where he is asking you to maybe leave a relationship, leave a job, leave your hometown, or maybe it's moving forward. You're putting out your creativity for the first time. Like people don't even know you draw. People don't even know that you sing. It's like people don't know you're into style. People have no idea that you want to go back to school. But you know it's time. Like you know you don't want to mess around anymore. You could be in a relationship where you know it's not healthy. You know that God is calling you to something higher and he's asking you not to settle, and it just feels like, why would you do this to me, Lord? I'm 31. Like, why is it, I feel like when God calls us to something, for me, I'm always like in my age trying to negotiate, like, God, you know, but you know, though, that I am 37. But like, it's weird because I don't really think about that kind of stuff too much because I'm like, I'm here on earth. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I have capability to do things, to walk. So I'm going to embrace the moment. But every once in a while, there will be a time, and currently that I'm even going through that, God's asking me to pick up gifts that I have really buried. One of those even being music and singing. And I just am like, you know, Lord, I've traveled around that mountain a few times. Maybe it's just good if I do something else. And it's like, I can't shake it. I just can't shake it. Whether it be songs in my heart or storytelling that I want to do, I just can't shake it. And I think there's, like you watching right now, there's something that you get up in the morning and you're like, gosh, like that's what I'm called to do. That's my purpose. That's my passion. But somewhere there's an ounce of fear that is causing you to step forward. A lot of times that's what the fear of what people might think. You know, what if like you're only known for this? And it's like, okay, what if I start posting on Instagram my art? Well, you know, Jennifer, like who does she think she is? Why would she put that art on the internet? You know, it's like the craziest things can stop us from moving forward. And there's this whole thing about fear of man, and it has no business in our walk with God. Like for me, I want to be known as a person who is obedient first to God. Like, if I go off every whim and every wind that flies by of what people want me to do, I'm never gonna know who I am. One of the main thing I think back in this example, and like I don't have any notes for this thing. I'm just like going off the cusp because I feel so strong about it. Like today, like there are people literally paused and stuck and frozen because they don't want to go. It's just like I can't. And God has not given you a spirit of fear. He has given you a spirit of power and a love and sound mind. And sound mind means no confusion. I just want to say this real fast. Also, if you are constantly watching what other people do, like scrolling, I promise that's going to add confusion to your life. And if you're someone who are like at a crossroad moment and you're like, I don't know, I could do this, I could do that, I could do that. It could be because you're watching too many people's journeys. I know if I'm like, Lord, I know you're telling me to do this, and I spend like a weekend just looking around at what everybody else is doing. Monday morning, I'm like, tell me, what did you say? What did you say? Which is so dumb. Like, how can you get sidetracked just like that? Distractions. Okay, where was I going? Yeah. Let me take a sip of this coffee. I know I'm just so hyped and I'm imagining all of y'all's faces and it's just like so awesome. Okay. If you are someone who has followed our relational story, you know that fear almost stopped me from marrying the great man that you see in these videos. And when I talk about being crippled with fear, y'all, I had so much anxiety and panic and fear because, as you know, my parents were not on board. So my fear was, well, one, there were a lot of arrows being thrown my way of what would happen if I married. Now remember, we fight the spirit world. We do not fight flesh and blood. So you have to think, where are these arrows of attack coming from? From an enemy that doesn't want you to step forward into your promised land. And that's what was happening to me. I was having nightmares. I couldn't sleep at night. I was having these like terrors in the night, which, like, if you read Psalm 91, which is the greatest verse of all time, it talks that we should not fear terrors in the night, arrows by day, that the Lord is our covering and our protection, our shield. If you're experiencing anything like that right now, I suggest go to Psalm 91. And I'll put it down below. It is a scripture of covering and protection for us. But when you're in a state of serious amount of fear, which, remember, if you follow Joyce Meyer, she talks about fear being the false evidence. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Like, it feels so real. Like, if I step forward, my whole life is going to crumble. My parents are never going to talk to me again. My life is going to be in shambles, Jesus. And the crazy thing, if you get in that secret place with the Lord, He's not showing you that. He's like, okay, if that friend rejects you because you go forward, if that person doesn't talk to you for a little bit, then like that doesn't matter, because when we cling on to the things of this world, including people, more than we cling on to God. Remember, Jesus was about His Father's business. Like, even Jesus, like, this is the things that help me so much. Like, when He's moving forward in His ministry and everyone's like, Jesus, ain't He the carpenter though? Jesus, wasn't He that guy chopping wood and making my dining room table? Jesus, wasn't He over there? And Jesus is like, yeah, but today I'm about my Father's business. And He moved forward, and He didn't stick around listening to the voices and stick around just having to prove Himself. Y'all, please stop proving yourself. Please stop trying to get the approval of people. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect in this. Sometimes you really want that one friend to see. You're like, why can you not see my greatness? that may not be your friend. That may not be a friend if you have to constantly try to convince somebody. I don't even know where I'm going, but the point is I was in a lot of fear and moving forward. And the one thing I remember God saying is, you're about to miss the greatest blessing of your life. Will be the greatest relationship of your life. Now, do I believe that obviously God can redeem anything and shows grace, but it's like he doesn't want you to miss it. He just is constantly like on a platter giving us so many promises and blessings daily, and we just don't grab a hold of it because of fear. And a lot of times it's fear of other people, what they'll think. Will they reject us? Will they no longer celebrate me? La 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 la. And here's the deal: if people go away, God will always fill that desire and that inner need for connection. I know many times I thought I would be alone in that journey when I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go forward. I'm just gonna go forward because I know God is telling me to go forward. And I'm telling you, I look at my kids and I look at everything and I'm like, what if I didn't do it? Like, what if I did not go forward? I'm telling you, Frederick and I broke up for 6 months. I battled with it. I was in this place of just being stuck, and I did not know how to move forward. And it was the strength of God, the encouragement I had around me. But at the end of the day, it was the step I had to take. Like, people could encourage me all they want, but if I didn't just go through, like press through and go, you know what, God, what you're saying means more to me, and I trust that when I take this step, it's not going to be the end of the world. And here's the deal: it could get rocky, it could get crazy, but God always is good on his word. And when I look at my family and I look at my husband and I look at all that he's blessed my life, I look at the restoration and the things he's done in my family, it's insane. Another thing we could be fear of is, like I was saying earlier, is that it's just too late for me. It's too late. You know, I'm 45, I'm 35. Some of y'all are in your 20s and you think it's too late for you. And I'm like, girlfriend, can we have a chat? That's why we're talking in this coffee chat. That literally took my breath away. But for real, some of y'all need to calm down. You're like, well, I'm not married. I only got my job. I only got my dream job. Blah, 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 blah. I'm 37, guys. Like, calm down. I feel like, though, when I say that to some of my 20-year-old friends, it's like, so what you're saying is I'm gonna have to wait another 20 years? That's not what I'm saying. Because I remember people would tell me that in my 20s. But here's the deal: let it marinate. Let things marinate. Like, God knows your heart's desires. Like, it is not too late. Why do we put a timeline or a deadline on things? But I will get that way too. Sometimes I'll be like, I missed it. I missed it, Lord. I don't know. Like, I think we're all there. But if we approach each day, new beginnings, new mercies, a chance to strike the iron again, then we can keep going forward. Because, like, Jesus has hope and plans and a future, and he gives you all that. And it's casting down those thoughts, casting down and getting in agreement with what he says. Yeah, fear of opinions. Believe me, I went through this too, is fear of what family will think, fear of what your friends, fear of what your job. I am feeling this shift for people, even in their careers or their calling. Like, you want to do something you've never done before. You want to do something that even your family has never said you're even good at, and your friends have never acknowledged it, and you're like terrified. But I think you're waiting for a permission slip from somebody in your circle to say, you're a singer, you're a writer, and the permission slip is never gonna come. I promise you. I remember being at so many jobs where I was just like, if this one person can see that I can do this, then I'll feel validated, then I can move on. When God's like, can you just do the work and I will bring the people? Like, and sometimes I don't know why. Why do we want our, like, Aunt Jo? Why am I saying Aunt Jojo? I don't have an Aunt Jojo. We want Aunt Jojo to approve. Aunt Jojo has no idea what you're even talking about or what you're doing. Like, we want people to celebrate that have no business even, they don't even know what to celebrate. It's like, okay, cool. And we don't need the people in the industries that we want to be in to celebrate either. We just need to be about our work, do it, show up, lean in. I wrote this morning that, and this might even be the title, I don't know, that I feel like God's saying that people are fearing following through, moving forward, leaving, showing up, being themselves. I think people are really fearing being themselves. And y'all, I don't know. I'm just like tired of it. I'm tired of seeing copycats. I'm tired of people finding a formula they think is going to bring them success. I'm like, I could go on a whole rant. People trying to position themselves and jockey up with other people so that they can, you know, maybe if I connect with this person and then they shout out my Instagram and then it, like, y'all, that stuff's garbage. Because God wants the glory. If you rode that person's coattails, like, where's God in that? You're going to be like, oh, this person put me on. Yep, they did it. They made my career. Now, I'm not talking about partnering with destiny purposed relationships. What I'm saying is, y'all, let's relax. Like, let's trust God that He's got us in our relationships, in our finances, in our future, in our calling, in our marriage, in our dating. Like, I don't know, like, anytime we're trying to further and rush things, we get into this, I don't know, hamster wheel striving thing, and y'all already know that's not the life. But really this whole video was to just say, you can move forward because God is with you. And really think like, okay, if I do this, what if somebody says what they say? Who cares? But do you want to miss out on the beautiful life, the beautiful blessings that God has for you? I'm telling you, it's not worth it. This year, step out and do the thing. Be consistent. Show up. Be faithful. Like, you've got this. Like, rise above the noise, y'all. Just rise. Like, shut it off. Shut off your phone. Shut off whatever, the person that you keep allowing to call you and waste up your energy, and you have to take their call for like 30 minutes. Like, shut it off. Get focused. And tell the enemy to move. Okay? Because you've got work to do this year. You've got work. You need to put it in. And that's really all I have for you. I don't even know where this went. It could have been all over. Those are just words from my heart. God has given, He is your power and your strength within. I'm telling you, do not let the enemy intimidate you any longer that your life is going to crumble. Another thing, if you're in a relationship that you need to get out of, just get out of it. I remember I was so afraid when I was younger to leave a relationship because I just thought, well, this is my shot. This is my chance. Do not be afraid that if you leave something, that's all God's ever going to give you. Like, that is poverty thinking. Start thinking the best is ahead for you. Believe it, say it, declare it. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. Okay. This has been really fun. I could go on and on. I could probably talk about this for like 3 hours. So I hope you caught something. I hope the Lord use this video in some way to encourage you and tell you that you're not alone. I understand what fear does. Fear truly makes you think like you just can't take the step. But you can. You can do what God has called you to do. You really, really can. And it's so worth it. And I want you guys to be on that side with the Lord. I want you making strides and making movement and not paralyzed of fear of any of the things I listed off. So if you need any prayer, comment below. We're here for you guys and love connecting every single week. So hope y'all have a wonderful week, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Adios.